Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about, learning and being a developer. It kind of comes with the territory. There's always new languages and frameworks and different technologies that we end up having to learn how to use and add to our war chest. But I kind of want to reframe the conversation a little bit because it's often discussed in terms of like, should I learn this language this year? Or should I focus on this framework? And I think that's the wrong framing for all of this. When you're especially in the beginning, when you're learning programming, you're actually learning two tricky subjects at the same time. You're learning programming itself, and then you're learning your first programming language. And there's a lot of overlap there, but they're kind of two subjects, learning all the syntaxes and the nuances of your language, and then learning programming. Ultimately, over the length of your career, it's this programming skill that really kind of is what you draw on. It's where you want to build your foundation. It's what allows you to sort of really grow. A simple example of that is, in your first language, you learn things, what's an array, what's a string, what's a function, once you've seen those, lots of languages have those, you just change the syntax, but the idea, the concept is what you get to carry over. So it's always been my opinion when you're choosing a new language, I actually don't think it's as big a deal to focus on what everyone's putting in the job post or what's the latest, greatest things. I think it's a better way is to look at your current gaps and figure out what you don't understand. So if you've mostly been working with an object-oriented language, maybe you want to look at a functional language. If you've mostly been looking at languages that don't focus on concurrency, then look at something that focuses on concurrency. Or maybe you want to understand fault tolerance better or something like that. So you look at different languages and frameworks that really showcase these different concepts. I think it's a much better approach to sort of choose your new language or framework based on the concepts that it demonstrates really well than, what everyone's asking for. Because even if that's not the language you go get a job with, getting better at these concepts is transferable and it's a much better use of your time. So I just kind of wanted to, put that out there that, oftentimes getting a good solution is about framing the problem correctly. And I wanted to offer that as a different reframing of, learning and growing as a developer. It's not about a checklist of languages or frameworks. It's about concepts and principles that you can acquire over the term of your career. Anyway, everyone, if you've got any other thoughts or maybe you've got a different approach or different way you like to frame this, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about it.